ecosystem organization here at Xbox. Sarah, it's so great to have you.
It is awesome to be here and so good to see you too.
Yes, I'm super excited for this conversation because as we know, game creators are crucial to Xbox's success. And whenever you talk about them, it's with such passion and tenacity. I love it. And it sounds super important to you and the rest of Team Xbox. So my question to you is, how do creators inspire the work that you and your team do?
The creators are just the bedrock of everything we do on my team. You know, when you really think about it, where gaming really comes from is it starts with someone who has a creative idea that they choose to put into a game that we all get to experience and enjoy. And that's really the bedrock of our industry, of what motivates us, is to help those people, those developers, bring their stories out. And we think about it in three ways. You know, how do we create a vibrant and engaging gamer community for them to come to through Xbox? What are the set of tools and services that we give them that make it easier and faster and more affordable for them to make a game? And how do we create a range of business models that they can use? Because a business model really enables them to perform all sorts of different types of innovation.
Yeah, business models, tools, resources, all these provide choices, and it's increasing these choices for not only the developers, but the players themselves as well.
Yeah.
For example, you and your team just announced a new feature that's going to bring game demos to players. Can you tell us a little bit more about Project Moorcroft?
Project Moorcroft.
Ooh.
I know. I love these project names. I wish they would just let me name it, but
yeah,
they
just
won't.
Say it.
I know.
They
won't.
Can we change that?
Well, look, we were sitting around as a team and we were thinking about some of the things that we've always loved the most about the gaming industry. And one of them was, remember when you would go to like a show like PAX or E3, and you would go to the show floor and you get to play a demo or a piece of a game, and the developer would be right there next to you, talking to you about their experience, asking you to try things out, asking you your feedback. And that was one of the things I loved the most about those experiences. We just don't have them as much anymore, you know, in the way that the world has evolved. And so we thought, gosh, how can we make Game Pass like that? Like, how can we use the power of Game Pass and all of the great discovery and player engagement that is in it and have it create for creators that opportunity to engage with fans early as they're creating their game, and also for players to get to experience something that they're really anticipating. And so that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to have a program that enables developers to take a piece, a level of their game, and put it into Game Pass so that they can get that great feedback and players can engage with them. And we know it's a lot of work sometimes for developers to do that, so we're also going to compensate them for their participation in the program. I'm so excited for what's going to come when we launch that.
I think the one thing that we all miss is that connection, right? And now that we are able to come back into conferences and stuff like that, we still need to deepen it, because by deepening that connection, you're diversifying the voices, and then that in return helps to diversify the games and bring diversity into games.
Completely.
So how will Microsoft help to further that front?
Yeah, we think about it all the time, frankly, as Microsoft, as Xbox, in my team in particular, because creators is core to everything we do. You know, if you think about a game, it enables you to experience a perspective, a point of view, in a way that is deep and immersive, unlike any other form of media. So the importance of everyone having an equal opportunity to share their story and their perspective through a game, and what it means to shaping our perceptions, to what we talk about, to what we believe, to broadening our perspectives, is critical. And we think about that all the time. So what we've done as a team is we're continuing to expand the set of developers who we're engaging with and bringing them into the Xbox ecosystem. We've actually more than doubled the number of developers that are making games for Xbox, and we saw lots of those games in the last day, which has been pretty cool. And the other thing that we did this year is, for the first time ever, we actually have a presence in Africa. We have our first Xbox employee in Africa, specifically dedicated to working with creators in the region.
So what message would you like to leave for creators who are interested in starting in the industry?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. People say to me, gosh, I would really like to be part of the gaming industry. I'd love to make a game. How do I break through? How do I get involved? And I say, first of all, network. Talk to people, meet people, connect with people, just how you and I connected actually at an industry event, which we met at, which was super fun. You know, build that network and that connectivity, because it's so critical in every industry, but I think particularly in gaming, right? You know, go to industry conferences like GDC, meet people, learn, try that out. And if you're interested in making a game for Xbox, you can actually go to github.com. You can actually download the Xbox Game Developer Kit and get started. And once you have a game concept, you can also submit it online through id@xbox.com, and then you can self-publish to Xbox, which is another great way. And of course, if you actually want to get involved in the industry, all companies are great, but I highly recommend you check out Coming to Work at Xbox. I'm biased, obviously.
I mean, hey, you have every right to be so. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today. And also, thank you to all the viewers for tuning into Extended. We've heard from so many amazing developers on today's show. Now, before we finish, is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
We were talking earlier about the importance of people being able to tell their story through a game and how incredibly powerful it is. I mean, when we were talking about that, I was thinking about an experience we've had as a team that's been very touching for me. So, a couple years ago, we started really consciously extending the depth and breadth of content that we have in the Xbox ecosystem. And it was through that I got to know the team making Stalker 2 really well. And I actually got to intro that game last year in the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was just incredible. And the thing was, when I was looking at that game last year, and I was looking at the story that they were telling, and they were talking about the beauty of the land and their dedication to their culture and their country, and I thought, wow, this is a cool game. This is a compelling story. But sitting here today, recognizing that team is Ukrainian, they were based in Kiev, looking at that story and what they were showing to the world just feels entirely different and far more poignant and visceral to me. This is a team who's talking about their culture, talking about fighting for the existence of being a nation, of being a people, of having their own language. And now we all, as a world, have gotten to see how tenuous that, in fact, is. And it's an honor, frankly, to be part of this industry and to have the opportunity to uplift their voices and to let their story be told through a gaming experience, especially knowing what we know now about the situation in Ukraine. And as part of that, they actually shared with us something that they wanted us to share with all of you today as part of the show.